Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. Now, in this video, we're going to be going over the new canon information that has recently come out of the Jurassic World Survival Guide that's currently being sold in several stores. Inside of this book, we actually get a pretty thorough breakdown of what exactly has happened leading all the way up to Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. The timeline goes through the events of Jurassic Park, The Lost World, JP3, and of course, Jurassic World. But before all of that happened, there was the forming of InGen, and the early development of the very theme park that John Hammond desperately worked hard at creating. Now, early on in the book, it's said that in 1984, Dr. John Parker Hammond and his company successfully cloned the first prehistoric animal from DNA preserved in amber. His silent partner in this venture was the philanthropist Benjamin Lockwood, who of course will play a major role in the new movie. Oddly enough, we are then told that in 1986, the first dinosaur was cloned by InGen, that particular species being Triceratops. It goes on to say that the trike was hatched on Isla Sorna and that it was actually extremely difficult for the scientists to know what type of dinosaur was going to be created from the DNA that they'd extracted from the fossilized amber. It took later successes, which are largely accredited to Dr. Henry Wu's work, to really refine the process. So first things first, this new information tells us that InGen's first cloned dinosaur was not a velociraptor, as was alluded to in Jurassic Park Trespasser. Still, Trespasser's placement in canon, I'd personally say, is just as important, seeing as its revelation of 7 tyrannosaurs being bred for the island still rings true. If you're asking this Jurassic Park fan, I'd honestly tell you that that particular video game is just as much canon as Jurassic Park the game. Both stories did indeed happen more or less, but the exact events of what went down in them are probably not 100% true. To simplify what I'm trying to say, I think I'll just compare this to what Star Wars recently did with the EU. Only with Jurassic Park, most of what went down is still acknowledged within the timeline, while other events have just been ironed out and made into more believable story components. I always found it rather ridiculous that the first animal Hammond cloned was a velociraptor anyway, as it really didn't gel well with what went down in the original Jurassic Park. Why would they flippantly start out with a carnivorous animal instead of opting to choose an herbivore? And I guess you could say that they didn't know what they were trying to make, but also, why did it take 6 to 7 years for them to start having serious issues with the raptors? It's never been something that I've been a big fan of. You could easily rework some of Hammond's dialogue in the game to fit around this new canon information, like writing the Albertosaurs featured within it as actually just smaller tyrannosaurs, or something like that, and be completely fine. The big takeaway has always been that the scientists had no idea what they were doing in the first place, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. While the info on Triceratops being the first cloned dinosaur is rather interesting, I personally find the revelation of a separate prehistoric animal being bred 2 years prior to be even more fascinating. All we currently know is that InGen cloned something that wasn't saurian before the strike. So what exactly could it be? Now, I would be lying to you if I said that there was an answer to this question, because quite frankly, there isn't. Now, whatever it was, it had to be extinct for some time, because it's listed as a prehistoric animal and not a more modernized one. I'm going to go out on a limb here and suggest that the creature in question could very well have been a Smilodon, also known as the saber-toothed tiger. I say this because if you actually go back to the first Jurassic Park and take a look at the beginning of the scene where Ellie goes in to talk to Hammond, you'll get to see the JP gift shop. And in the gift shop, they actually show a stuffed saber-toothed cat plushie for sale. Again, this is all just purely speculation, but I think it's the most logical guess that we currently have. In 1984, Lockwood and Hammond cloned something extinct that wasn't a dinosaur. And in 1993, they created and were about to sell little Smilodon stuffed animals. It's the only thing that honestly makes sense to me. That being said, I'm very interested to hear what all of you have to say about this new information. What do you think about InGen's first dino being a Triceratops? And what kind of prehistoric animal do you think they cooked up in that lab back in the early 80s? Let me know in the comments down below. Now, before I go, I want to thank my game wardens, as well as all of my InGen executives. I'd also like to thank all of my park workers and InGen hunters as well, like Christine Schupp. It means the world to me that you guys enjoy what I do so much, and I seriously am eternally grateful for every ounce of support that you've shown me. I could never say thank you enough. Now, I'd like to thank you all for watching this video, and hope that you all enjoy today's content. If you feel like I deserve it, I'd appreciate the like and hope that you'll consider subscribing if you're interested in hearing from me again. I'll see you all in the next video, guys. And as always, take it easy.